That awkward moment when you mute yourself. Whoops. Alrighty. Alright. Let's do a thing. I'll put this. Nope. Nope. There we go. Back over there. A little bit forward. Okay. Welcome, Richie. Welcome. Good to see you here. So, starting things out. If you've been following me on other social media, I mentioned about a video that I wanted to get up by tomorrow. Unfortunately, still have a lot more work to do with it. So, next Thursday at best. But I'm going to leave it at that. For tonight, I'm building something that I've had for quite some time. I've been meaning to get to for quite some time. Thank you. Lego Star Wars 75300 Imperial TIE Fighter. I've been on the fence about this and the X-Wing for a while. I still thought they were a little bit high in price for the original release of them. But now I had seen it closer, discounted at Walmart down to about $35, $36. I'm like, that's okay. So I bought 3 of them. I only have one I will be building tonight, but this is part of a 3-step plan. And hopefully we'll breed some really cool mock projects as a result. Can put the timer on in the foreground and the side or something. It's a little bit of a all over the place setup, I understand. I'm trying to do a few things. There's still plenty of slowly been working through on the Lego room. Excuse me. So pardon everything around it. I hope so, dude. And literally everything feels like that. It just I hope it's worth the wait. Literally everything I do. There are plenty of things where I definitely don't feel that. But they're out there anyways. So let's see here. Get the stopwatch up. So I bought 3 of these. I'm only going to build one tonight. I'm only going to build one tonight by the instructions on this live stream. And then I'm going to contemplate about the other 2. The other 2, I'm intending to make MOCs based off of this one. And I know it's nothing new. People have already made TIE interceptors out of the original MOC or out of the original set of this with some, variants here and there. I wanted to see what it was for myself, even though I've watched a few of those videos. And the third one, I'm not going to say for right now because it really depends, again, how this goes. If I want to pursue the third one. If I don't, it just won't happen. It just won't be a video. It would be nice of obviously having just 3 TIE fighters around, but I don't have that kind of space to set up all these. So let's go to it. Bag 3, go there. Bag 2, go over there. And bag 1, front and center. So let's see if I got the stopwatch ready to go. Okay. So how's everybody doing tonight? I know it's a late one. I did stream earlier. I tried to stream earlier on Twitch, where I was reacting on my own to the Nintendo Direct that released today. I didn't get to watch it when it actually premiered because I was at work, but I did get to watch it when I came home from work. And there's definitely a better showcase than the last Nintendo Directs that I watched. I will give it that. Because the last one, I gotta turn off this fan, it keeps blowing around. One sec. Okay. So Nintendo Direct, it was a little bit better than the last one, in my opinion, because it actually had other things. It wasn't just focused on two kinds of games from all these different franchises throughout the entire thing. It's like, oh, good. I can actually see what other games I could play. You know, I mean, yes, there are some popular genres, but I I do draw a line where it's like, okay, if I see this thing enough times, it all blurs together, and I probably want to see some other stuff, especially when there are certain genres of games that I don't think are in the limelight as much as they used to, but I think there's still merit to them. Still want to see what they're about. It's like, oh, we got a racing game, but it's DLC for Mario Kart. Okay, sure. Hey, Cyber, welcome to the stream, buddy. How you doing? I heard Alex in the background. Thanks for joining. I'm glad you got your new vid up. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm excited for Samba de Amigo. I've actually never played it. Shame on me as a rhythm game fan. I haven't played any Samba de Amigo games. I've wanted to for a long time, so I'm looking forward to this one. I think I have Viva Pinata, but I don't know if that's a rhythm game. Might not count. So yeah, I am looking forward to that. I was really surprised not only about Metroid Prime Remastered, but since I'm assuming it's because Metroid Dread sold very well that they're like, hey, let's crank out a remaster. And I was surprised not only that it exists, but that it's available now, available today. It's like, man, Metroid fans are eating well. I am very slow to the Metroid series and Metroidvania type games in general, even Castlevania. I've grown up with a bunch of them, and long story short, I'm just not good at them. There are a bunch of them that I have played over time. I've played a little bit of Super Metroid, Castlevania 1 on the NES, Metroid Prime on the GameCube. I still have those, but I cannot say with any certainty that I'm, a fan of them in the way that I've actually played through them, enjoy them, and I, play them well or anything like that. But I could say the same thing for platformers, and now we have a couple more things added to those. I think they go trickle. Yeah, probably. I mean, the kicker about that is, I have the Prime trilogy on the Wii, or rather the Wii U, because I knew buying the physical copy was going to be, an arm and a leg. It's like, oh, I can buy this digitally for $20 while it's still, while the eShop is still around. Sure, yeah, let's do that. I do have to go back to the eShop. I wanted to go back in there, get a few games that I figured Nintendo's probably not going to release these for a while, if if at all, again on the Switch. So I might as well go through, pick up a couple more things before it's gone, and whatever you call it. But the problem I have with it is that I need more space. I need a storage device or something for my Wii U, because I ran out of storage space as it is. It's not a lot. Why did they make it 32? It baffles me. So yeah, I have to look back through to see which ones are compatible, and then pick up another one of those before I pick up more games, and hopefully do that before the eShop is gone. I lose the ability to play some games. Where is this piece? Oh, I'm looking for the wrong color. I still can't see it. Where is it? It's facing down. That's why. It was in the works for it to be an HD collection. Oh, okay. I was not aware of that. See, that's the other thing about Nintendo Directs. I think I try to get involved. I think they're fun to watch, but I don't have a lot to say about them. I really like. I'm on this kind of like outer sphere of the games that are happening now. Like I'm aware of some of them, but I'm not following every last piece of information, or I doubt them. There's very few of them I would pick up, let alone in the same year. Never mind the day of. So I don't know. I got a big backlog. That's what I'm trying to say here. I have so many games on my mind from years before, or last year even, that I can't focus on what's happening now. So a lot of it I'm like not too excited for. Some of it is just like, oh, that's neat. But that's all I'm really gonna react. It's like it's not really going anywhere. Oh, I forgot those two. So other than that, what else we got going on? Super Bowl's coming up this weekend. I don't really follow sports in general, although I have been listening to a sports podcast that's supposed to kind of like bridge the gap between sports fans and non-sports fans, and it's like it's entertaining for sure. But I don't follow every last episode of it, or I'm like way. I think I only started watching it past week or so, something like that, and it's already been going for several months. So I got a lot to catch up on. I got a lot to catch up in general, and people wonder why I keep posting old stuff. Actually, technically, the videos that I had uploaded the other day, technically, so YouTube, I sometimes it makes a weird thing. I look back through old videos, and then I'm like, oh, why is this private? I thought I published this already, or I may have accidentally unpublished a video, or like taken it down, even though there was nothing inherently wrong with it. So I republish it, but then sometimes it'll identify that like it's a brand new video, and then it'll show up in everyone's feed. And I'm like, no, I didn't just make this. And although there are sometimes, there might be a version of the video that was private, so then maybe the one I published was like that. There was one video like that where somebody said it might have they understood that, so I was like, oh yeah, it might be like that. So I tried to change that. But yeah, I was trying to go through old videos. I was trying to look for something, and I'm glad I found it. And luckily, it was from a video that I believe was already published. So that was good to find. It was just a personal thing. So like, yeah, I know it's annoying that I do a lot of haul videos, but it is kind of a vlog documentary sort of thing for me. It's a way of me keeping some kind of record. There he is. Welcome, RX. I'm sorry if I mispronounce it, but welcome. Good to see you. So, what was I saying? How you doing? So, yeah, I'll make a lot of haul videos because I'm just trying to keep track of when new things come in, and sometimes I forget. And especially when it comes to video games, I try to keep track of those. But also, especially Lego. There were some old ones that, like I said, I was trying to look for. I'm glad I made a video about it because it was like, wow, back in the day, that was awesome. It's still awesome, and it was actually funny watching the video again because I the one thing that kind of bugs me. This was a video that I had where I bought a bunch of Lego from Bricklink, and Bricklink does have a catalog of orders you place in different stores, but the details get shrunken down over time. You can't see the full invoice from years and years ago. I mean, even in a couple months, they vanish or get consolidated. which I kind of understand just for server's sake and whatever. But I really wanted to know how much I paid for some Lego minifigures that I bought because they are definitely not the same prices now. And I wanted to have that as like its own post or something, or some kind of like pinned comment in that video, just to be like, I bought this back in such and such, and it was this much. Now it goes for triple digits. Like, what are the odds of that? Because I've tried to tell people I bought it before the price hike, and I wanted to have that as a little bit more visual to it, because a little more understanding of, of that sort of thing. Is like, yeah, I can't believe it. And even back then, I thought it was semi-expensive, but not, I would not have imagined how ridiculous it was to now. Oh yeah, that's good. Congrats on the raise. Yeah, for those of you guys that you know me from elsewhere. So when I do a stream here, I try to do a stream on YouTube and I'm building Lego, or even on Twitch when I'm building Lego, I usually do it from my phone because I don't have the webcam set up with my computer to just hover it over on the table to build with it. But I wanted to still get the audio quality that the microphone brings. So I have this little site that I've set up, and has a couple of different features I've used in the past. Every so often, people come in and can work with that, and just trying to make that happen. Trying to get into a little bit of both, even though awkwardly, ironically, the microphone's on the other side of the table. I'm facing away from it, but it should be capturing the microphone audio instead of the cell phone audio, so it should be a little bit clearer to some degree. Welcome, Mayo. How you doing tonight? I saw you posting a couple of new videos. If I need to get bulletins to do, you can get better content. Because I've tried to push myself and it hasn't been working. Or hasn't been moving as fast as I thought. So yeah. To catch up, for those who joined, I'm building the Imperial TIE Fighter from LEGO Star Wars. There is a TIE Bomber that released this year. I was going to say that dropped. It would have been too... I don't know if that's the right wording. There was a TIE Bomber set that released this year. I'm curious about it. I might pick that up. I wanted to see how this was first. But I also wanted to see how this was because I had plans to build some other things based off of this model. Some other people have online built the TIE Interceptor out of the TIE Fighter, which is cool, changing up the wings and a couple other areas. And I would love to do that as well because I love the TIE Interceptor. I really want them to make a new version of it, but a conversion from the TIE Fighter would be really neat. Yeah, absolutely. It was so fun. It was a great time. I had a great time with it. Oh, wait, I did that side. Oh, okay. Sometimes I do the mirror build ahead of the instructions. So, what was that? So I wanted to try that as well, but I wanted to see what the first model was like first. And then I would, contemplate if I want to do the TIE Interceptor alt build with it. And then I would go maybe one step further, if I really felt comfortable after that, with another model of a vehicle based on these parts that hasn't been made yet. I've been really meaning to do a lot more creative stuff, a lot more creative builds with Lego for quite some time. It's kind of one of my goals for this year. If you want to talk about goals and New Year's resolutions and all that, it's one of my goals for this year to really get some more MOCs built, original, new ones. Even if it's rebuilds from things I did in the past. I've done some before where I build where I build MOCs from my childhood, and just either readapting them or making something new based off of them. And I don't mind that. I think it's still something creative, and it also helps with documenting. Like I said before, I like no problem. Do what you need to do. It's the second one, Mayo. It's probably better if I show the. It's this one. It's the business tie. The Thunderbox. I don't know what a Thunderbox means. So, anyways, yeah, there are ones that there are some that I've built based on what I've done in the past, but I also like the documenting with them. It's like I don't have great photos or video or anything from them before, so now if I recreate them or rebuild them, I can do a lot more with them. Like I kind of wish I got a lot more photos of the old stuff that I built. And to be fair, when I've gone through old stuff, old like photo albums and things, the pictures weren't that great. Even if there was abundance of pictures, I just didn't know how to take proper photos. Like, oh, I just put the flash on for everything. It'll be fine. No, that doesn't work. You'll get it really bright and glaring on the subject that you want, and then everything else will look too dark and shrouded, even if you have a little bit of what you're focusing on in that away from that flash. It means it's going to be hard to actually look at it. And I'm not any photography expert by this point, but at least I know a little bit better than that. Even if it was just a film camera or whatever. I mean, I've done that by accident. I think I've actually done that a couple times today at work, but mostly out of mostly with shoes on, with no damage. But yeah, that's the other good feature about this this streaming service is that I can highlight messages, acknowledge them better. And it's funny that's all the controls that are in here. Let's give me a advice. I guess so. Yeah. Like, it's not that I don't want to do stuff and that I don't want to do stuff all the time. It's just I gotta work, man. I like 30 plus hours of my week are dedicated to work, so I gotta do that. If I ignore that, I can't pay the bills, and you won't see me for a while. So I'd rather just I'm here for a little bit, and then Twitter or whatever, Instagram, something, Discord. And then the video stuff, is always going to take longer. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but you still do a lot of streams though, so I'm proud of you for that. You got a grind that I don't. I've tried, and I don't. I've eaten a Lego once, not on purpose. I'm actually not sure if I've ever eaten a Lego, but I've been paranoid that I ate Lego. A lot of times when I was younger, I would have pieces, on the floor. I'd be sitting on the floor building something, and when I can't find a piece, I think, "Oh, where'd it go?" And it's like every other pieces are right around me. So so my conclusion was it's gone. I must have eaten it by accident. So then I usually start gagging, and then I'm still looking, and then I realize almost every time it's just under my butt. I just shifted a little bit on the floor, and I shifted. Don't take that out of context. I moved in place from where I was sitting, and It was just sitting underneath me the whole time. I guarantee nobody would have paid attention to that, and now I brought up full attention to it. But I hope I never ate it on purpose. I've definitely chewed on Lego before. I've removed a bunch of them from other Lego, just in case. But yeah, I definitely have some chew marks on like swords and things. I've had Lego around me while eating breakfast or lunch, so I think I was fine. That's what I've always had. It's like, I don't know if I want to keep talking about it. One girl had a brick eating addiction, and doctors said she ate half. Oh boy. Hey Lee, welcome. How you doing tonight? I am building from my backlog a Lego Star Wars Imperial TIE Fighter. I have 3 of them, and I'm only building one by the instructions right now. Get a feel for it, and then I'll try to build the others into MOCs sometime later. This droid's pretty cool. I'm not familiar with him in the universe, but it's a different kind of droid. I'll take that. Are the wings exactly the same from one to the other? I feel like they would be different, but I also don't know what way they would be different. I've been meaning to do a lot more MOC material, but I do have a lot of backlog, so I'm trying to work through that too. Hope you're doing well. I keep seeing the streams every so often, but I haven't actually gone into the chat as much. But I do see your mod progress everywhere else. Yeah, it's going all right here. Pretty good. Let's see. There was some kind of news earlier today about Lego Ideas, right? Lego Ideas 2022 review results. Because I heard a little bit about it, but I didn't see the full thing yet. Okay. So 51 submissions and only 2 were selected. All right. So the first one, Red London telephone box. Probably could put this on the stream, honestly. Give me one sec. I can't find it. Oh, there we go. Oh, wait. There we go. Nope, that's not it. Well, okay, yeah, that's it. So Lego Ideas 2022 review results. The first one was the Red London telephone box. All right. It's a nice, upscaled, kind of classy version of the model. Something tells me, besides Doctor Who, I thought they made one before, but I could be mistaken. I almost feel like, yeah, that's good, but is it idea as good? I think about it this way, at least based on pattern and whatever. We had a New York style taxi cab, basically Lego Creator or some kind of yellow boxing, in the past year or so in Lego stores. Why couldn't they have done something like that with the British telephone box? Wouldn't that be about the same? I'm not sure. It's, I mean, yeah, you could definitely get more detail out of it like this, but I kind of I've tried to grasp around somebody having this as like a display model in their house. It's like a, I don't know. Am I being too American? Might be too American. Trying not to be, but I don't know. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, no Lilo and Stitch house. That would have been great. I mean, really, it's Lilo and Stitch is such a strange in and out thing. Like the buildable Stitch that was a submission a while ago. I think that would have been phenomenal. I think it would have been great. Um, but even the, what do you call it? But yeah, even the house one looks pretty good. Jack's. Oh, okay. The Jack Skellington. I did see a photo earlier today about this and the designer. I assumed they won as the other one. So yeah, it's on here. But okay. I guess if we're gonna take in one Disney property, it's this one. Again, it's kind of hard for me to look at this thing. Like I'm familiar with the material at least, but it kind of makes me think: does it have to be this big? Does it? You know, would a scaled down version take away anything from it? I feel like it could still benefit from that, because that's one thing that I fear for not just ideas, but in many Lego themes, is that they're just aiming for high budget and high cost and therefore high profit, of course. Lego Ideas, as I've seen over the past couple of years, has been drifting away from a lower budget area. You don't see any 20, like, I mean, even back in the day, you barely saw any of the 20 or 35 or 50 or $70 idea sets, but they were still coming around. Nowadays, we have a $400 lighthouse, which I think on its own says a lot. And then you have everything else. If you see anything 70, I'd be surprised by this point. There's some that are, hundreds, 150, you know. I get you could do a lot more with a lot more pieces in one package, but there's also lots of things you can do at a lower range too. I mean, the whatever you call it. Nathan, how's it going? I see your eyes peeking in. I did technically cover my thoughts about some of the Lego leaks recently. I just forgot to actually post it on anything, so that was my bad. Let me drift back here. I'm in the second half of the first wing. Oh no, I know what lurking is. I'm aware of that, and that's perfectly fine for people to lurk. Just got my CMFs in the mail. All right, take care. Enjoy them. I still have a bunch of duplicates I need to do something about. Uh, I don't know. Maybe it's could be mistaken, but moments of magic. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Okay, I'll just keep it on this for now. And let's see. There we go. Hey, I see you're down there. Welcome back. How's it going? Good to see Bionicle Forever in there. I'm doing okay. I know my voice sounds a little on the raspy side. I don't know. I felt a little weird the other day, but I'm getting better at that. Probably just from something I ate and just had to wait it out. And then here we are. I've done a lot more streaming of Lego and some gaming stuff through Twitch. So if you have a Twitch and you follow people through there, consider me as well. Did I miss one? No, there it is. I've built a couple other Lego sets on Twitch, and I still have yet to bring them over to YouTube for the VODs. See, Mayo, I know words. Let's go to either editing session or a selling session. Not sure which tonight. I mean, either way sounds productive to me. So I hope it goes well. And thoughts on Nintendo Direct? Yep. So I mentioned that in the beginning of the stream. I tried to stream it on Twitch, and unfortunately, apparently the audio was not coming through. Because when do I ever have audio that matches up correctly? So instead, to reiterate, I did say some of it earlier in the stream, but long story short, it was a better Nintendo Direct than the last one, in my opinion, because it didn't just focus on RPGs and farming sims. And there's nothing wrong with RPGs inherently. It's just I didn't want to see an overabundance of them and nothing else. There was barely any other genres that were covered in the last one. Barely any other games that I could at least entertain looking at. So at least this time around, I got a little more that I could look at, appreciate, and also, different Nintendo franchises I'm a little bit familiar with. I am still curious about Pikmin 4. I have Pikmin 1 and 2, so I don't know how 3 and 3 Deluxe ever played out. But I've been so rusty, I want to go back and play Pikmin 1 and 2 at some point. So I'm familiar with that gameplay again. The Professor Layton is definitely interesting. That is good. Hope that goes well. I have not actually played any of those games before, but I still know that it means a lot to many people, so I'm glad there's something for them. Speaking of meaning a lot to people, there was a Metroid Prime remaster that is already available. It's like, wow, that's awesome, and Metroid fans are eating well. So I've played a little bit of different Metroid games. I've played the original Metroid Prime back in the GameCube, but I have not played it all the way through. So there's plenty of it that I have to still get into. I have a long backlog of games, as even longer than a backlog of Lego or movies or TV shows. So it's kind of hard for me to keep up with what's current when there's so much I have to play catch up with. That's the story of my life. But that's the gist of it. I don't think there was anything that I was inherently really against. I think the Bayonetta thing was interesting. Again, I understand that's a thing for those fans. It might be interesting to them for like a prequel. Mario Kart, it was very vague on the expansion pack that it's like, here's a new course, here's a new character, and that's it. It's like, okay. But to be fair, there's still a lot of other stuff doled out until that happens, so I guess that's fine. The Game Boy expansions on Nintendo Switch Online is cool. I was hoping for that, and at least I was right about that. And what else was there? What was I trying to think of before that? Splatoon 3. So I've only played Splatoon 1 and 2, mostly through multiplayer. Still have to play a bit more of those. But Splatoon 3's expansion doesn't really excite me and still doesn't convince me to buy the game. I'll give you that. If that's what Nintendo is looking for. Because I don't know what else that offers. I don't know what else that's like you get two more hub worlds to walk through. Do people walk through the hub worlds that enough to, be excited for that as expansion packs? I don't know. I don't get it. And I'm also kind of surprised that they haven't done the that they changed up the original Inkopolis. I'm surprised they haven't brought that over already when it came to Splatoon 3. It's like, completely new layout each time or something. I don't know. I'm also just of the opinion that Splatoon 2 is still fresh enough for the Switch that a 3 wasn't even warranted. Like, it's been a couple years. I guess technically, if you lay them out, the time in between each of the games, this could happen. But I don't know how much they do different of Splatoon 3 that isn't already available in the previous games. I guess I just have to learn a lot more from other people. Where was I? You're saying I should go over the thoughts on Lord of the Rings. What do you want me to say? You already know. I mean, Nathan calls me so frequently, and every so often I'll see him, in person, and we'll basically be doing this whole Lego thoughts thing on news leaks, rumors, all this stuff in person or over the phone. And it's like, yeah, maybe I should be filming this because I don't know when else I should bring it up. And I don't usually do thoughts on all Lego news as much as I used to. Way back in the day, it was already a panic attack for me to keep up with it. So I didn't. I was already like, this is not for me. And there are other people that, cover what I say pretty much in better words. So it's not missing anything. It's fine. I thought it was a benefit. So I don't know what else I can really say for it, especially when it comes to franchises like Lord of the Rings. I don't know enough about it. My opinion isn't going to weigh in that much compared to other people who know the movies and the extendeds. I'm not against it, but I'm not informed enough to talk about it. So, the Elrond set, it looks very ornate, it looks very neat, but that's all I can really say. I don't know all the intricate details or enough about the characters and the scenery and everything like that to say, oh my gosh, it looks like the movie in real life or something. I don't know. I'm just like, it looks great. I like the roof textures. That's about it. I know. We've already talked like this. This is not news to you specifically. I just went over the ideas results. I think that was right before you came on. So basically, I said, I don't know if they need to be that large. I get they're really cool models, and they are project models. They're not anywhere near finalized. I'm just afraid that they might stand out as being large models. Somebody did correct me earlier in that the Nightmare Before Christmas one, could handle that size. I'm like, yeah, okay. I've only watched the movie once, so I only have so much I could really share my opinions about it. See, I could always make videos about thoughts and opinions or bring them up on live streams. It doesn't mean I'm right. It means 9 times out of 10, I'm uninformed or I'm wrong or not my kind of thing. So how much can I really... I don't want to put myself in that kind of position and I don't want to make people angry because of that. If anything, I've done like a very vague or small summary of my thoughts on something. And it's like, here's a little bit of okay, yeah. And then if there is something that I fully understand and want to talk more about, I will do something different. Indiana Jones, for example. I understand that one. I've grown up with the sets. I mean, I didn't grow up with the exact sets that they're transitioning from, but I know what those sets are like because I've built the original ones. I don't even know which one will take me less time, reading all the books or watching the 14 hours of movies. I think the 14 hours of movies will definitely take way less time, and you won't find me on a desert island because I couldn't leave or do anything else because I had to read the books. I don't know, man. That's the thing about Lego. It's introduced me to a lot of different franchises in and inside and out of the Lego property itself. It does not mean I understand them. Like the one who should not be named. Bag 3. Like the franchise who should not be named, especially with the Wizard game that's out now that people are, going back and forth about. I'm not going to get into the controversy itself. But all I wanted to say was that franchise, I basically learned through Lego and the movies. I didn't grow up with the books that much ahead of that material. I did read the first 2 books with my brother when I was younger, and I didn't really carry on with the books. I didn't even carry on with the movies beyond the first 2 films. And I know trickles of information after that. But I wouldn't consider myself a fan of that. I like the Lego sets. I've bought many of the Lego sets over time or had them as gifts from birthdays and other occasions. But again, I'm more into the Lego side of it. That's the thing. I would not be as invested in the franchise on its own as I am with the Lego building side of it. Whoa. You see that? Is that a clone without an angry clone head? Or stormtrooper without an angry clone head? Angry stormtrooper head? Whatever. Dang. Wow. Also, it's like the 50th iteration of the stormtrooper. Like, okay. They keep changing them. I keep looking through them, especially because of work. I keep looking through them and I keep seeing how different they get over time. So it kind of bugs me a little bit in the back of my head. Like, okay, if I want to do Star Wars stuff, I have a whole lot of Stormtrooper minifigures, but I don't have them all the same way. So I can't do that much with them. Maximum Warp, welcome to the stream. I'm sorry you only joined in now. And I have brought up about my thoughts on this direct now twice on the stream. It is literally the first thing that I cover as soon as the stream starts, if that helps you rewind. Long story short, direct good because there was a variety of games and it wasn't all in just 2 genres. I am not committed to buying a lot of those games, even ones that are available right now. First of all, I have Metroid Prime on the GameCube and on the Wii U under the Prime Trilogy. So I'm not committed to buying the Switch version of it yet, even though it is nice to have out there. And I think with this Direct, there were definitely a couple of fandoms for different franchises that are eating well, that they're happy that there is new material or even rebirthing material. And that's fine. And I'm okay with that. I'm not going to chastise that. And then there are some that get some expansions, and I'm just thinking in the back of my head, okay, we'll just make expansions. We don't have to make another game or anything. But that's a little cynical, and I totally understand that. Yes, I know it's I understand it's HD. I don't I can play it on my Wii U. That's an HD way to play it. That's okay for me right now. The long story short is I watch it just to be informed, but I'm not invested in a lot of it. Like from one direct to another, not just this specific one. Um, just in general, I have a lot of games I gotta play through way before that. Ones I own in my house. So it's kind of hard for me to get excited about new stuff when I have stuff literally right around me. And some of that also goes for Lego, but to a lesser extent. Um, yeah, yeah, I get that. Oh, is it now? 480p upscale. It's all good. I understand. I was just saying that yes, I have covered about it. I did talk about it. I technically already streamed it on Twitch, but there might have been a mic issue because somebody was watching it. They didn't hear anything. So I don't even know if my actual initial reactions are saved. Um, the Somebody Amigo I am actually excited for because I like rhythm games. I have not played through all of them for sure, but I do like seeing when there are more of them. And Somebody Amigo is a franchise that I have wanted to get into, but I just haven't owned any of the games up to now. So I am curious about this one on Switch. I mean, I own there are many games that I have owned multiple versions, and sometimes I it doesn't stop me. I've owned the same game on multiple consoles, like simultaneously, like the same generation of consoles. I have the Cowabunga collection from TMNT on the Switch and the PS4 at the same time. So I know, hypocrite. It's because I like the game and I'd like to play it anytime I can. So if I want to play it on the go and I want it with the Switch, there you go. If I want to play it at home and, I'm more comfortable with the PS4 controller than the Joy-Cons, then I can do that. I'm just saying at home, my Joy-Cons have drifted over the past little, like, some of this past year. They have started drifting and I have yet to fix them. So my solution for right now is, well, if I'm playing it at home, if I'm playing it on the go, yeah, they're going to be attached to the system. I'm just going to have to deal with it. But if I'm playing at home, which 9 times out of 10 I play the Switch at home, then I have other options I can play it with. I have some of the wired controllers from Power A. They were in like these accessory packs. It was like a really good deal. I have a GameCube adapter controller, so I can just play the GameCube controller, authentic GameCube controller from back in the day, with my Switch. That's what I've been doing most of the time. And with like very few issues to, playing other games with it. So yeah, it worked out nice. But with the PS4, at least I've been getting more acquainted to the PlayStation controllers in general. I didn't grow up having them, and I had my cousin. He had a PlayStation 2, I think, but I didn't play it a lot, and I wasn't familiar with that layout compared to a lot of Nintendo stuff. So instead, it was like, okay, well, eventually, I I did get a PlayStation 2. I got more acquainted with the controller through there. I got PlayStation 4 sometime after. So now it's like, okay, not an issue. I can still work with that. It feels more conventional, like an Xbox controller. That's just something else I grew up with. Xbox 360, I mean. Xbox One, I still have to get used to a little bit, mostly just because of those little buttons for options and sharing. Like, why did they make them symbols? They're not really descriptive. Getting into Amigo is a massive money sink unless you're going for the Wii version, but the Switch seems like the best entry point now. I guess it's because they just run high on the aftermarket. Uh, that might make sense. There were a couple of games that were shown in the direct that said they have demos that are available now, and I'm like, all right, I could try out some demos. I'm always up for that. So I did set my Switch to download a couple demos. I think Omega Strike was one of them, and it looks like a kind of a cartoonish version of a sports game, which is that's something that I like. Instead of having to just play a straight up like FIFA or something like that, give me Windjammers instead, or something like that. You know what I mean? So and then there's another game, C something. I forgot what it was. But like I said, demos don't hurt. Most hyped game of the year. Not really. I mean, oh, sorry, highlighted the wrong comment. Not really right now. Um, I have been playing, so I've been meaning to do this for probably a couple of years now, honestly. I've been meaning to do this for a couple of years now, and I thought about, like, what if I did, like, a very heavy documenting of games that I play, games that I'm interested in, like actually writing it down, whether or not I post it. And then after a month or so, or half a year or so, or even after the full year, making a video about it. And it hasn't worked out. Some of them I was able to write down for a little while, and then it just kind of fell off track because it was occupied with other things. So recently I've been playing Pizza Tower. I had watched somebody streaming it. I didn't hear about that game before. Apparently it's been in the works for several years now, and is finally on a Steam release. It's very much themed like Wario Land? Yeah, Wario Land. And while I haven't played the Wario Land games, I understand what they're about. I do own Wario Land Shake It, and I've only played a little bit of that so far. But I did start playing a little bit of Pizza Tower based on the demo, and I realized I really need to work on the controls. Playing it on a computer, it was not super comfortable for me going between buttons, and it is like it's got a lot of platforming. It's got a lot of almost a speed run vibe to it, where it's like you got to do things as fast as possible, and you get more, credit and points for doing that faster. But at least for the demo, it had a stricter time limit to it. I think the base game is a little bit more lenient, but I haven't committed to buying it yet because I'm like, well, let me try to beat the demo, and then I get more acquainted with the style of how it plays and the controls and things. But with the keyboard, I couldn't. So instead, I'm like, well, maybe I can add a controller to it and then work from there. So we'll see how that goes. I wouldn't say that's my highest anticipated game of the year so far, but out of games that have been released this year, that is one that I already enjoy for different reasons. Even though, again, I'm not great at playing it, it has a great aesthetic, it has a great soundtrack. It doesn't really need a story. It's very goofy, but I like how goofy it is, and I'm glad that it's kind of just been showing up a lot of my feed lately. It released on Steam on my birthday, actually January 26th on my birthday. I was like, I only found out afterwards, but I was still like, whoa, that's kind of cool. So, but that's a game that's already released. So hyped game. I don't want to say I'm not hyped for Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild 2. I like just keep calling it Breath of the Wild 2. I don't want to say I'm not hyped for it, but I still have to play through Breath of the Wild, as it is. And that is a game that has been sitting in my backlog for 3 years. And I remember explicitly 3 years. So, again, like a lot of games, I'm sure they're good. I'm sure the people will enjoy them. For me, I can't really say anything about it. I don't have a front to put here because I have so much to catch up on. But I also got to work. So then I could buy more games and make videos and whatever's. It's a pattern that hasn't fully worked itself out yet. Besides needing a Dreamcast, the Maraca set. Oh yeah, that's right. Because it's a Sega game. It's on the Dreamcast. Gotcha. I thought there was a 360 release, or maybe I'm confusing it with Viva Pinata. Is Viva Pinata a rhythm game, or is it completely different? I don't think they're in the same franchise. I know they're both Sega though. That's where I keep associating them, and also Somebody Amigo I keep seeing in other Sega things. I remember playing Superstar Tennis, and they were in there. So I might be getting them confused. Would have said Metroid Prime Remaster, but I guess I can't really. Yeah, that's true. It's hard to be hyped about something that's already out. But yeah, I was kind of surprised. What I'm curious about, I do know it's either the first Metroid Prime or one of the Primes in the series. I forget exactly where it was from. But one of those Prime games had an Easter egg where you scan something and it says the Metroid Dread project is nearing completion or something like that. I kind of hope that they have that in there, or if as a remaster, have it updated to say the Metroid Dread project is fully complete and received positively, or something. I don't know. I think it'd be funny if they acknowledge that, because that was back in the day a teaser. That much I know. That was the idea back then. Was they had that as a sort of teaser for a game that people were just anticipating for a long time, and then it finally released. Whoops, forgot to add this. Yeah, this is literally the same build from one wing to the other. The exact same, and they're just divided between two bags. Okay, good to know. The only thing that's different is that one bag has the bolts in it. Vivid Pinata is a party game, and it's Rare, not Sega. Okay, my mistake. Also, the SpongeBob 3D platformer game, I was hyped for it, but it already came out. So, oh yeah, Cosmic Shake. So I did hear about that. That's as far as I got. I didn't hear if it was good, bad, whatever. That's the other thing. Like, a lot of times people are, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not at all criticizing how people do things. I'm just saying I'm really like snails are faster than me. Snails on molasses, sliding across a glacier, with all those conditions, they are faster than me. So I've understood a lot of times people will be hyped for a game, they'll buy it, they'll play it nonstop, and inside of a week they get through it, and then they're trying to find any secrets of it, completion, better, everything. And that's not bad. That's not bad. It's a really good thing. I think that's really cool. I cannot do that. I tried to, get a move on when Skywalker Saga came out. You know how much of the game I've played since then? I've barely beaten a movie. I've barely beaten one of the 9 movies of that game since it released. And I bought it and everything. But I just don't have that kind of time and focus commitment to make that stand out of my head. All right. So now, yes, and yes. Okay, cool. So I have finished the build at 1 hour, 7 seconds, right over the hour mark. That's fun. Oh, that's cool. I haven't bought a Lego Star Wars set in a while. I didn't realize that they still did this. But it's kind of nice seeing that. They've been doing this literally over a decade, if that's the case. And that's awesome. Yeah, I didn't buy the X-Wing. I haven't even seen it in stores, let alone thought about getting it. Skywalker Saga there. I don't think they have any codes for it. Remember when they had a whole bunch of Lego Star Wars cheat codes for the game, and then it said the game was coming out, and it had to get pushed back. Reasonable delays, but still, it's like, wow, okay. So yeah, it's just exactly life gets in the way. Can't imagine a game It's very rare for me to be so excited about getting a game and then completing it in the same week. Like completing a game on its own is a big feat, even if it takes forever. Beating a game, I try to do that at least, but there are lots of games I have yet to beat, and after many times of trying. A while ago, this is a highlight of January and probably a highlight of the year already. Honestly, I beat Bugs Bunny's Birthday Blowout. This is an NES game from like late '80s into the '90s. I beat that game twice on the NES, and I never beat that game before. When I grew up with it as a kid, I've always owned it. I was always available, and only recently have I beaten it just off chance, like not even trying, but I was able to go forward. Is this your only build tonight? I think so. I thought I had another one. Oh, so Nathan, forgot to tell you. Lunar New Year. Pretty sure it's the second one. Yeah, I don't know if I have another. I might be able to build another set. Let me see here. I only really planned on this one. I'm not building a rabbit. I'm not building Ninjago. I thought I had a polybag or two nearby, but I don't. It's not standing out to me right now. Did I? Maybe. Well, that's kind of stuck. I had another set or two I wanted to build, but I was going to do that off stream. I actually have a whole bunch of sets I was going to do without being on stream. I could, if I could reach this, I could probably build this. Okay, hold on. Oh. And dropped it. I could do that. It's stuck on my foot. I could do this. I mean, I have a bunch of Technic sets saved anyways, but I could do that. How many sets? Oh, that is a loaded question. It's at least 20. At least 20 sets I have in the backlog currently. Probably more than that, and I'm kind of scared to go back and count. The best I could do, let's see. I probably should have laid them out. With the Iron Man mech, the city plane, or the Technic telehandler. If I go through here, Imperial TIE Fighter 2021, yep. All right, let's see. None of my sets. I'm trying to wait for the category. Am I not? Wait, what? I thought I was able to sort that. That can't be right. So I usually keep track or most accurately, I can keep track of my collection through Brickset. And according to Brickset, for the labels that I applied to Lego sets, I have 263 Lego sets in my backlog. And I'm pretty sure that's too many. Because some of the sets that I have marked in there are technically not backlog. They're incomplete. They're sets that I own. I've tried to build them before, but some parts were missing. So, or they haven't been fully inventoried. Actually, the one right there I have to take off because I know it's not. I know that one's complete. I think that one's complete. I have to check. This one I know is not complete. I built that. It's sitting actually over here. Yeah, a little hard to tell about some of these other ones. Yeah, 200 something is like way too much on the other side of it. If we're talking about like recent sets that I've picked up from hauls and things like that, it's sitting somewhere around 20, 30. There are some that I've had for a couple of months, probably over the past 6 months, around maybe closer to 30. Some of them are rather large. So part of it is like, well, I don't have a lot of space to put that up yet. Even if I put it on a table for now, I still have to rearrange a lot of the Lego room to, put that in. Or the NES and the Atari, I'd like to put those by the video game stuff, but that still needs a bit of work. Monkey Kid stuff is a lot like that too. Technics scares you. Well, it's not the Technics. It's that I can't build Technic on my own so easily as I could system. Like I'd like to, and I've tried to in the past, but it takes even longer than that. So I do already have for. So yes, I do plan on getting more of them, and the other ones I did not build, I've already saved for friends. That's basically what's happening with them. People who did. I mentioned this throughout social media. I didn't do a video about it. That's probably the only thing I didn't do. Was like a TikTok or YouTube or that video platform kind of thing. I mentioned it on social media. I am inevitably going to buy a whole bunch of sets because, as a gift with purchase, it's not a huge threshold to get to that I don't already have sets in my wanted list for it, especially when it comes to Monkey Kid, some creator, some classic Ninjago. Those are really easy ones for me to like, I could buy a $100 Ninjago set and boom, Tahoe. That's what I did with my first one. And I did it with a similar thing with the second one. It was like just over $100. Boom, got it. So I knew right away I was going to wind up with multiples. But I wanted to use that to the benefit of the community that, in advance of the GWP, I said I will most likely wind up with multiples so that I can distribute them to people in the community without having to pay the exorbitant $100. Because that's what, one of the big issues that people had was not just even reaching that amount, but buying it on things that they weren't interested in, It's like, what, it is kind of a weird thing that Technic did not count towards the gift with purchase. Technic is an original theme of Legos, given one or two, licensed stuff here and there, like Volvo or something. But at its base, it's the most acquainted to Bionicle that's on shelves right now, unless you count Ninjago thematically. But as a building system, it's a little more close to that. So it's like it's like, okay, if people don't want to buy $100 worth of stuff in order to get the Tahoe, then I will already have a bunch of these and I can distribute them over time. And I asked my friends first, and they already have dibs. And I'm still looking to get a few more. So at least another one, maybe two of them before it ends. Because technically February 9th is the last day for that offer. I just have to look over if I'm going to do in store, online, whatever. If there were some other Monkey Kid things that were sitting on my head for a while, even though I have a whole bunch that are in the backlog. So yeah, that is the thing. Yeah, just like you said, closest to Bionicle. Technic scares Joey. Let's see. Do you have the Ice Dragon from Ninjago? Willing to give it to you for discount because I want to get rid of it to get the Tahu. I don't have the Ice Dragon. I've looked at it once or twice. I haven't decided to get that on my own yet. What I have right now, so I think I've posted it through social media, like what I bought to get each of the Tahus that I have up to this point. And so yeah, I definitely don't have the Ice Dragon. I should probably look at that one again. Like the only thing I can't remember the full model, and I've seen it in the store. I've seen it built in a display case in the store, and I'm still blanking out on some of how it looks. I know it's got 6 legs. It's got some light aqua in there, which is cool. That works with the white in the color scheme. I think that's nice. Some sand blue. It's got some nice wings that can work with Bionicle pieces. It's got a couple of joints here and there. Again, works with Bionicle pieces. I don't know. The figures are alright. It's got a little bit of a build, enemy build to go along with it. Got the samurai. No, Pixel. That's her name. I don't think I have a Pixel figure, actually. Kind of surprised I don't have that yet. It's super notating. I caved honestly. Thought it was easier to resell. Yeah, that's true. Also, since my phone died, 30-second TIE Fighter review. What's the swoosh factor? Most important question. All right, so we'll move the sets out of the way. We'll talk about that first. TIE Fighter. Decent. Got some neat building techniques. I like some Lego math that goes into this to make it very smooth and feels all together. Swooshability. I have to make the sounds with it. It's neat. It does everything it needs to. It looks pretty good from all sides. It does have some spring functions, which are easy to just ignore if you didn't want those. Opens up very easily. I do like that because it used to just be like just that, or this whole thing had to be one whole assembly. So this opening up, that's very easy to move things out. Also tiled, so it's easy to move the figure in and out of there. That's also nice. If I had one thing I would change about it, it's the controls. I kind of wish that they were actually a computer panel like old times, or even just levers. Just what's here, yeah, okay, whatever. I'll deal with it. It's covered up. It's fine. But yeah, decent build. I do realize though that some of the wing pieces are from a junior version of the TIE Fighter, or a very similar one from the junior TIE Fighter with those with that plate piece that connects on here with the pins underneath it. So that's kind of funny to me, but it does work in here nicely. It does integrate. So I've only up to this point built 2 or 3 models. Damn it. It knocks into an Avengers Tower. I just knocked off Red Skull. Oh, there he is. So I have built maybe 2 or 3 different versions of the TIE Fighter over the years. I believe it's either the original one or something very close to the original one that I've built before and actually reviewed on YouTube. This is definitely an upgrade from that, always around when it comes to the texturing, building techniques, the color, the some of the style to it, the striping on here. That's cool. It does look good. 35 is okay. I'm kind of in the way of like this is a basic model. This is a thing that Lego's released dozens of times, and they upgrade it every so often. I just have a hard time saying 35. I kind of want to just say 30. Like, I think 20 obviously would be a bit low, given what's here. This was like over 400 pieces. What was it, 430? Yeah, 432 pieces. So it's not bad at 35. I think originally it's like 45 or something like that. So I was like, yeah, that's okay. Um, Figure wise, it's all right. Get a good droid in here. You could always have more stormtroopers. You could always have more pilots. If if you're like me and you just decide, I'm going to buy every one of these I find at Walmart. Just try it out and build something else out of it. Because my thought of it is like, I could use these different angles and varieties of plates and things to make the other wings for things like the TIE Interceptor, like people have done before, or some other vehicles with the third model, which again I don't want to reveal because I don't even know how obscure it is. But it's something that in my head I'm just like more familiar with, and I'm like, I want to see this happen. So yeah, that was more than 30 seconds. Is somebody gonna clip that and put it into its own video? If I actually did its own video, I would at least try to do a little more with it. People say that they watch my reviews, and I'm like, really? I feel like I go back and forth on a lot of things, so I didn't really know if my reviews were worth it, and that's why I stopped for a while, among other reasons. So, yeah, okay. I really thought that, like, when I do the video about the three TIE fighters, I would review it then, but it would be very minimal to the rest of the video for the purpose of it. Let's see. Don't know how much shipping would cost. Just shoot me a DM. We'll talk later about that. Imperial Star Destroyer back in 2006. I do not have that. Also, welcome to the stream. I've actually never owned an Imperial Star Destroyer of any size or variety of it, unless you count like the microfighter. That's probably the closest I've ever come to. That's the thing about Star Wars when it comes to me. Like, I've grown up with it for so long. I don't mind the old ones, even though I know aesthetically they're not as good as the ones nowadays. But I've picked them up before. I've picked up old versions of TIE Fighters, AT-ATs, A-Wings, X-Wings. Doesn't matter to me. I mean, I was talking with Nathan not that long ago about the Imperial Shuttle, and we found one, like one of the more original ones, for like 25 on eBay. And it's like, or wherever. And it's like, yeah, I would pay 25 just to have an Imperial Shuttle. You know? That's the thing that matters more to me 9 times out of 10, especially with Star Wars, but sometimes other licenses. But Star Wars is such, a wide range of stuff and has been going on for so long. I get to say this thing about it. It's like a Luke Skywalker is going to look like Luke Skywalker to me, no matter when he was made or what his arm printing looks like. Yeah, I'll be okay if I just happen to get another set with newer arm printing or whatever it is. But 9 times out of 10, I'm not looking for that. I'm just, like Luke Skywalker as a character. Yeah, I'll get multiple outfits for him, but I don't need every Rebel pilot outfit to be the most up to date one, or every single pilot or pilot outfit, whatever. Yes, the one with the blue thing. That's the one we were talking about. The one with the crane. All right. I heard mech and I heard telehandler. I'm bringing that again. This would be actually the quickest to build. This will probably take me the longest, and this one's medium. Um, and I'm kind of the same way with now Marvel superheroes in that same vein. But there's some of them I've been kind of more picky about. Like for a while, I did almost a complete 180 when it came to Iron Man and Spider Man sets. For a long time, I was kind of like had this bias against them. I would pick up some of them, but there were other ones that I was like, why does this exist? Or I have no interest in this thing conceptually. But I've actually turned around on a bunch of them in 2021 or so, even 2020 a little bit. So I was okay with that. Yeah, I also own like multiple Luke's land speeders, just because. So again, Star Wars does have a little bit of a creeping in here and there. So yep, Technic it is. Gotta try to learn. He says. It's not that I don't want to learn. I had usually on the anniversary of my YouTube channel, July 1st every year, I would usually have a live stream talking about the channel, the growth since then, a couple of, retrospective things. But I would also be building Lego Technic 9 times out of 10 during that. And I've done that for the past couple of years, I believe 2020 or so. I did. The only thing was in 2022, I didn't do one. I wanted to do a live stream for the 10-year anniversary of the channel, but I had tried to plan it with other people way in advance. Nothing happened. I couldn't plan around that, and it didn't happen. I don't even think there was technically a live stream for it. There was live footage of me talking about the 10-year anniversary, but I don't really count that. I know we're only a couple months out from that, but man, seriously? Punch hole boxes? Oh boy. Oh, man, it's getting worse all the time. Right, fine, I'll do it the old-fashioned way. Or maybe not. Just soften it up a little bit. This happened with my copy of the Tahoe and Jakua set. I tried to use the punch hole, and I thought it would be like straightforward, and it like bent inward instead of actually punching through. Like too strong or something. There we go. There we go. I thought we were getting somewhere with this. This is just. Well, yeah, this is crazy. Also, I do have to acknowledge I did not buy this product. Products provided to me by Lego. I don't know if I have to acknowledge it through live stream, but I figured, hey, it's a video. It's putting it on the channel, but that's where I obtained it, so I'll give the proper credit. It's not like Lego asked me to make a video about it or to build it for any particular purpose. But since I received it, I was like, yeah, let's just keep it all right. This is the worst box opening ever. Like, this needs to be clipped on its own from the stream. Oh. Oh man, look at that. I have never faced a punch hole in a box so dastardly. Gotta say, I loved them when I was a kid. I thought they were just okay in contemporary. I am not a fan of them right now. Also, when I crush down boxes, it usually takes a lot more effort too. So this is how it happens. I am not a Lego ambassador. To answer your question, I am part of a Lego user group, and Lego does provide Lego sets every so often to Lug members. So that's where I'm like, I'm just gonna keep it safe here. I do want to acknowledge I did not buy the telehandler on my own, although I have considered buying it numerous times. There's a motorcycle Technic set that came out last year. I wanted to buy as well. I should probably buy that at some point because I do like the $12 or $15 Technic sets because they're at least enough level for me personally to get into them, while also inviting some kind of building techniques or functionality that I could try to learn from. There was some kind of like tractor set. I forget what license it was under, but there was a tractor set that came out a couple of years ago, 2020 or so, in lime green, and it was really good for that same purpose because I would not have imagined how to build it with that play function in mind, and it worked. So, yeah. Almost as sad as the time you tried to pour all the 1x1s. And yeah, that's true. I'm in bed now listening to you. I didn't know it was that boring, but all right. Have a good night. I'm looking forward to your new video, Richie. Our tour world. Welcome. Or thanks for joining. See what Nathaniel yeah, the struggle is real. It is more real than you could ever imagine. This is a 2-in-1, so I'm not only going to do one, I'm only going to do the main model for the live stream. I imagine sometime later, if I wanted, I can probably do the second model, or I'll buy the other one. They'll be like, I did buy it. It's actually bought. Only bought one of them, but still. All right. Okay. So otherwise, I've had a bunch of videos that I don't know. I just need a better way of organizing and focusing when it comes to video content. I've had video ideas for a long time, and there have been videos that I've recorded but have not fully published. They've been sitting in the backlog on its own for years, so I'm sorry. I'd like to do more. I'd like to have more to share, and I'm just trying to figure out how to make that and make it better with that. It's another reason why the 10-year anniversary kind of slumped, because it's kind of hard for me to say, and look at me now, when everything looks about the same. Be gone for a bit in the library right now. All right, no problem. Do what you need to. Pandemic first started, I started falling asleep watching YouTube vids. Ever since, I need to play YouTube vids. Oh, okay. I mean, it's totally fine. I've fallen asleep to YouTube videos before. I'd set them up in a playlist, or even just listening to music. That helps. So it's all good, if that helps you. There's our emotion. The other thing that astonishes me is not just the fact that I'm up already, but other people in my house are still awake. Oh no, Nathan. Not the Saturn V. Well, that's one spaceship that Lego will never make. I just realized. I've actually realized it before, but I'm only saying it out now. See, it's okay to make a Titanic, but anything more recent than that would be met with controversy. Oh, there's a do this, not this. Okay. I do have some Lego Super Mario sets that are sitting in the backlog. So I've kind of been against picking up most of them just because the gimmick's fine and it's fine for kids, but for me personally, I've kind of just run my course with the course building stuff. There's only some point of it that I will Metro Dynasty. Metro, what are you doing here? Hello. I don't usually greet hello like that, but you surprised me. So thank you. Thank you for joining. Welcome. How you doing? What a surprise. So yeah, Super Mario sets. I did pick up some of them recently because of the Luigi's Mansion theming, and that's pretty much where it's at. I haven't picked up the Peach yet. Don't really plan to pick up more than that, at least for now. There's still a couple other ones. Obviously, just want to build, so I got things to occupy me in the meantime. Just thought I would drop in and say hi, bud. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. I don't even share this. You think I plug myself? So I was surprised. I was like, I already know you from a server. I didn't really like put it out like a you know a message or anything to say, hey, I'm streaming or whatever. I just do it. It just happens. But yeah, thank you for joining. Uh no, I don't even think I don't have the Y Wing from 2017. I have the Y Wing from 2007 buried in pieces somewhere. That that thing was fun back in the day, but I would really have to struggle to find all the pieces again. Come on. There we go. I should be knowing it right now. Just by looking at it, it's a 1x12. But yeah. Telehandlers, it's funny how they've made these multiple times in Technic and the small scale. Like, I grew up with one, yellow one, very similar to this. It had plenty of different building mechanisms to it, so this does still feel original, but the basic model was cool. Oh my gosh! What? Dude, you deserve head pats. You deserve head pats and hugs. You deserve a very good glass of water. Like, what? You're way too nice. Way too nice, Metro. Thank you so much. This almost like seriously almost never happens. The last time I looked through the past year, and the last time that I had super chat was to myself just to test it. It actually worked. That was the funniest part about it. It's like, oh, I sent myself money, and it probably cost me money to do it. Thank you so much. You're too nice. That means tomorrow. Go to the story one. Tomorrow's Thursday, so I might be busy still with that. Metro, you crazy, but you're the good kind of crazy. I like having you around. You too nice. I'm. I really don't know what to say. I'm flabbergasted. Should I talk about the Nintendo Direct the third time for tonight? Guess what? I watched the Nintendo Direct long after everybody else did. And here's what I think. You've never heard my opinion before. Yeah. Wait. Oh, it's upside down now. Okay, I wasn't ready for that. They did tell me that. Okay. Uh, again, we could talk separately about that. I don't really like talking business and plans in the middle of a live stream. I get this is where the chat is, and this is where people can respond back and forth, but I don't know. It just feels kind of personal. Like if somebody wants to sell me Lego, it's like you're not just selling it to me, but you're telling everybody about it. So I don't know how to respond to that. I don't want to, you know, it'll be a little awkward. I'm a little awkward to be fair, but that's beside the point. Um so yeah, I most likely will be working after that point because I usually start later than you. So we'll figure something out. I mean, there's always Friday. I know tomorrow will technically be the last day for the Bionicle thing, but okay. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I just kind of have like this amateur feel where it's like, even as I do something dozens and dozens of times for dozens and dozens of years, I still feel like I'm doing it for the first time ever, and just trying to change it, but don't know how the change will work. This reminds me back in the day, I used to build Lego sets on camera, and they were speed builds. Give me a second. We're about to be interrupted. They will probably be interrupted soon. Not a stream goes by without it. Oh, is it that one? Yes. Okay, good. Good. I couldn't follow instructions. I can still do it. Been mute for a sec. So I'd just like to clarify. Nobody heard me about getting my ass kicked, right? that that it was actually muted that whole time. That is cool. It looks so simple, and yet it's so cool. And I'm still amazed by it. I've done STEM classes, and I'm still amazed by it. Welcome back. Good time to come back. And making its way down, making my way downtown, walking fast, faces pass, and I'm almost not done yet. Yeah, almost done. Got the basic vehicle. I mean, it's basically down to the crane itself and the wheels and the cargo, I guess. My stomach hurts too. Would like to finish up soon. And my arm hurts? What? What is this? Stretch break. Does that count? Is that a stretch break? Thoughts on the Great Spirit Robot Ideas model being rejected. There were 50 entries. It's hard to make the cut. I'm still under the impression that the 90th anniversary vote was just market research, as R.R. Slugger phrased it. That it was what appealed to people and what could we do to convince them to get the thing. It does not guarantee that they will get a big thing or every one of those will be a big thing. I mean, there was honestly no guarantee any of them would be considered. I think something like that happened a couple of years ago with Star Wars, where there was like a vote on the next UCS model or something like that, and there were a couple of entries. So Gunship Gang obviously won, and then the other votes became smaller sets or like more exclusive sets or something like that, if I remember correctly. Oh, that's cool having the extra arm there to do that. That's really neat instead of it just directly connecting with it. I like that. It really does. Well, for me, I've been back and forth on ideas a lot of years. And some of it I was like, Lego Ideas just feels like a license factory. That if Lego doesn't already produce it as a license, it's an avenue for people to voice that and make something out of it. But Lego Ideas conceptually feels like it should be more than that. Things like the birds or the maybe the piano to some extent. The more original models would be nice to highlight for that kind of thing, where it's like it's more difficult when you see it as a fan created model based on a license, and then the projects get reworked so much that the fan model interpretation is basically lost. And then you look at it and say, oh, I got Doctor Who. Oh, I got Flintstones. Oh, I got Friends. Oh, I got Seinfeld. And that's all it is. And it's like, yeah, this was designed by a fan, but you almost wouldn't know it. Lego Friends had a contest years and years ago. They had a contest in which you could design a Lego Friends set. And the winning entry from a young girl, the winning entry won with her playground design of a set. Yeah, Flintstones. Yeah, that's the other thing. There's been so many of them that you almost forget that they had that. The playground, I'm not sure how much of it. Like, I don't know what the original model was for the contest. How much of it transitioned into from the design, but it was its own thing. It still felt like a unique thing. Lego Friends and Lego City, Lego Creator, they've barely had any sort of playground environment. So I was happy buying that set when it was Toys R Us exclusive because it actually looked like a cool set. It looked like a good thing on its own merit. But I still would be curious to see what the original looked like that was used for the contest. I don't even know if I still have the box for that one, but I do have the set still. And I think the mini doll was based on the designer, or the kid who won or something like that. So it's like the kid's immortalized in the set, which is cool. I like things like that. I canceled a video years ago that had that mentality of fan creations that turn into Lego sets. I canceled that years ago because of the 90th anniversary, infighting with Lego fans. I didn't want to ruffle any further feathers because of that. And I don't even know if it's still warranted to do nowadays. If it's still gonna, to write it differently, to reflect it differently. I mean, I'm happy that we're getting Legend of Zelda. But that didn't. That was something that was, pitched on ideas many times. It's like, how would they not know? That's what people want. Uh, okay. Need to make two separate departments, half licenses, half non. Also, personally, don't want real life objects of things. I mean, have you seen the botanical collection? Those things are popping. People actually really enjoy those, or like the pickup truck, or a whole bunch of Lego sets that emulate real life for whatever reason are doing well. I may not be so much into them or every single one of them, but I'll take it for what it is. Whoa, that oh my gosh, that's cool. I like that. I never see. That's the thing. I've built a telehandler before, and it's done this similar thing to keep it stable. That's fine. It did something different here, which is cool. The steering function built into this is great. I love that it has multiple functions. This I've never seen done before on this size of a model from Technic, in this kind of smaller set, and that's great. That's really good. It's a handful more pieces that can provide you a little more like angular play with it. You could have a bigger load. You could drop it off. All kinds of things. You could have it like you're gonna have it lower down, and then you try to line it up with it, scoop it under. That works. Allow me to stutter for the next 5 minutes. Whoopsies. Oh my gosh, my stomach. I don't know what hit me. Maybe I had to eat something. Which is weird because I feel like I've eaten enough today. I didn't really eat less than normal. Even the one day I had 3 meals, I seemed okay. Or maybe that was the day. Wait, was it that? Or yeah, I was okay that day. Yep, and that's the instructions for this. So it took me 24 minutes and 18 seconds and 69 milliseconds. Nice. 24 minutes to build this set. And it took me just over an hour, like literally at an hour, to build this set. Think about that. This only costs like $10 to $15. This costs originally around $40. It's got what's the part difference? The TIE Fighter is like 430 pieces. This is 140 pieces. So yeah, this is like 3 times less pieces. I don't know. But I like this thing. I like it's got a little turning function with it. Because here's the thing. As a starter Technic kind of thing, this is something that already gives you a whole bunch of pieces to work with, some functions, some things to do like outside of the core, like, you know, gear functions or something you can understand. But there's not that many gears to this thing. Some other Technic sets, they put a whole bunch of gears in them, and you could do a lot out of that just as a parts pack. But this one, it's got only a handful of gears, but it still shows you can do other things around those gears to make this move. Yeah. And it also has a nice stopper there too, so it doesn't just keep flying up. That's also a smart thing about using that specific piece for it. And then I can turn this. So yeah, I'm looking forward to building the alternate model of this. I think this is actually a big improvement from the telehandler I grew up with. And that wasn't even that old. That was... I think you should also build the plane. You need to get that backlog destroyed. I do, but I also need to sleep. I literally said this in the beginning of the stream. I only have so much time in the day, and I do have other things to do than build Lego all day long. I'd rather not. I do need to make money and eat. What was I looking at? That's the alternate model. That one looks like it has some steering function to it. At least. Probably a moving arm, like a tow truck look to it. Oh, my other arm is really... Speaking of my arm. Let me see if I can look it up. I don't know if I ever reviewed it. I used to have a list on Brick Set of sets that I've reviewed. Okay, so the one that I'm thinking of that I built long ago before this one was the mini telehandler. This is 8045. Came out in 2010. And this one, I don't think it came out this year, so I can't say 23 years. This one came out in 2022, so just over 12 years. Yeah, this is a big improvement. Also, the base of it feels more fleshed out. Like, yeah, it doesn't have the lights in the front of it like the mini telehandler, but it doesn't feel very skeletal in the base of it either. Like, when I lift this up, this still feels very proper, while still being functional. It's also got a little more character with it between the medium azure, the white, the black. Whereas the other one is just black and yellow. Yeah, not bad. Was the mini one yellow? Yes. Speaking from insomnia, yeah, that's true. All right. So as far as the TIE Fighter, I do like the build of it. I don't know if it's cheating if I just use another design online to build it into a TIE Interceptor. Maybe? I guess the good part about it is I know now that bag one builds just the base of this, which I could practically make for any TIE vehicle. They're mostly the same, for the most common ones, I should say. And then the wings are bags 2 and 3, which I could always customize to other models that I want to make in that way. So I think I don't know what else to say about that. Technic fork life is greater than TIE Fighter. You know what? Let's try something. It's not going to work, but let's have fun with this. I'm going to take the wings off of this. And see if I can pick it up using the forks. Use the forks. I swear I did not mean that. Okay, hold on. Obviously got to put on this. How much weight? Not enough. All right. If I balance this thing, I might be able to lift it. Yeah. There we go. Somebody clip this and then just put in like the opening track from The Lion King as it lifts up. Ah, be great. Look, I didn't mean that joke. It just happened. Bump. Immediately drops it. All right, that's enough out of me while I go and to bed and fall apart and make videos for another day. And hopefully next Thursday will be an exciting video. Like something that would actually be proud to call content. We'll see. Trying to get a lot. Hopefully get a lot more done during the weekend, but we'll figure it out. Anyways, yes, it did work. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for joining. Thank you to Bionicle Forever, Nathan. I'll just leave it at Nathan. There was an Anakin in here, but I'm pretty sure it was a bot because I did not understand what it was trying to say. And it probably just like, oh, this stream says Star Wars. I'm going to put Star Wars things. But you have to try harder than that. Big thank you to Metro Dynasty for the super chat. It was too nice of you. You shouldn't have done that. And if I could refund that, I would. Because I don't know what I did to deserve that. Thank you to Our Toy World for joining and hopping in very early in the stream. We had a Luke Smith in here as well. Thank you to Maximum Warp. Oh, probably can put this up. I mean, all the way up. There we go. Thank you to Maximum Warp. Did I miss anybody else? Thank you to Moments of the Magic. Thank you to Mayo Hosco. Thank you to Haley Bricks. Thank you to RX Strange Wolf and Cyber the Wolf. Also, Cyber the Wolf 14. It's where it's usually under on most of the socials. Oh, and then there's me. I forgot I typed in the chat too. And John Cena closing us out. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for joining. I will talk to you later. Check in the community posts for more updates if they're not any video updates. You can also check out social media on Twitter, aka Maniac for Bricks, Instagram, Maniac for Bricks Official, and probably other places beyond that. And that I'll be watching other people's streams because I do support other streamers even more than I stream myself. So if you don't see me here, you'll see me somewhere else. Thanks. Have a good night and take care. Make like Scooby and Cat Stella on the couch here. Time for sleeps.